Broadcasting from the basement bunker beneath the Keller Radio studios. It's the fourth hour with Greg Belfrage, and thank you so much for being here. Let's start at the president's True Social account. And he's weighing in on a number of different things here. Just out, inflation is down. Here's the thing. You get more news from the president's True Social without the filter of the media. This is what I love. This is why I'm always on True Social, because no filter of the media. Here the president saying inflation is down. In this issue, no more sanctuary cities. They protect the criminals, not the victims. They are disgracing our country. They're being mocked all over the world. Working on papers to withhold all federal funding for any city or state that allows these death traps to exist. So he says also here, great news, the big, beautiful bill. This is the budget bill moving through Congress, the spending bill. The big, beautiful bill coming along really well. Republicans are working together nicely. Biggest tax cuts in USA history. Getting close, says the president. And there was a news conference earlier this morning. House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senator John Thune both there. And I was hoping that I would be able to bring that live to you on the show. And we weren't getting any Fox News wasn't feeding audio. So, unfortunately, it didn't last very long. I mean, I had it on as we were talking, and maybe 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops. But that took place a little over, an hour ago here this morning. Let's go to the Department of Government Efficiency. We haven't talked about them in a while. They are saying an initial survey of unemployment insurance claims since 2020 revealed quite a number of people over 115 years old claiming $59 million in benefits. People between 1 and 5 years old claiming $254 million in benefits. And people with birth dates over 15 years in the future are claiming. They're not even born yet, man. They're not even born yet. And they are claiming benefits. So that is from Doge. Let's get some additional details on that story from the head of Doge himself, Elon Musk. Sorry, let's get back to the beginning. They're discovering millions in taxpayer dollars wasted on unemployment claims for fake people is the headline. In one absurd case, a person whose birthday was listed in 2154 claimed $41,000. Wow. Another nearly 2,500 people over the impossible age of 115 claimed $59 million in benefits. So again, there have been arguments made about, well, yeah, you can have these people 115 and whatever on the system, but they have obviously died. Then how is it they're claiming benefits? I mean, that's the issue. How is it that at the age of 115, they're still being paid or claiming benefits? I mean, that's the issue. 28,000 people between the ages of 1 and 5 years old claiming $254 million in benefits. And Elon Musk said, your tax dollars were going to pay fraudulent unemployment claims for fake people born in the future. Wow. As bad as you think it is, hold on. It's worse. It's worse. This is so crazy, Elon Musk says. I had to read it several times before it sank in. Yeah, I think a lot of this is. So he said the oldest living American is 114 years old. So it's safe to say that anyone 115 or older is collecting unemployment due to being dead. There is no sanity check for impossibly young or impossibly old people for unemployment insurance. No sanity check. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. That stuff is just incredibly crazy. Now, I shared this audio with you on the program yesterday. I want to share the video this morning. This is from the Hannity show the other night. Had a number of Republicans on, and it is Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. I've told you a number of times, I'm a fan of Senator Kennedy's. I love Senator Kennedy. I think the guy's got a sense of humor, and which he wields like a sledgehammer sometimes. And this was an example. They're talking about Democrat leadership, and Hannity starts out here with the question to Senator Kennedy.
30 seconds. I got to give it to Senator Kennedy. What do you think of the new leadership, Jasmine, AOC, and Bernie?
I consider Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez to be the leader of the Democratic Party.
Okay.
She's entitled to her opinion. I'm entitled to mine. As I've said about her before, I think she's the reason there are directions on a shampoo bottle. And, our plan for dealing
you didn't
with her,
plan that out. We got to hurry.
Our plan for dealing with her is called Operation Let Her Speak.
More Hannity. Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
Man, I just absolutely love that. Operation Let Her Speak. No, nobody, and did you see the laughter? Senator Cruz behind him, and others, they're laughing at Kennedy. I think the guy wields that sense of humor like a sledgehammer. It is absolutely devastating. Operation Let Her Speak. Okay, so while we're talking about what's going on in media, let's go over to CNN and watch the meltdowns taking place there. Scott Jennings is the lone conservative on CNN. He's the lone conservative. And so he apparently got into it with Tiffany Cross during a debate. Let's look into this. And the story starts with the punchline. Let's work our way up to the punchline. So she was criticizing the colonizer's attitude of Donald Trump here. The colonizer's attitude about the United States purchasing Greenland from Denmark. And she said it's a colonizer's attitude to say, I like it. I'm just going to steal it. You cannot just go and say, I like it. It's mine now. It doesn't work that way. First of all, I want to make sure you understand that's not what Donald Trump has suggested. He's not suggested going over there and taking the country by force. It's not at all but in the minds of these nuts at MSNBC, that's what they hear. I mean, again, if you are not able to listen to what's actually being said, why should anybody give a rip as to what your thoughts are? If you lack the ability to actually listen, process, understand, that's just par for the course at MSNBC, seriously. So Jennings was confused here for a moment. Steal what? He said. Land. This is what they're trying to do. This is a new world order. And I love hearing the left talk about the new world order. And Jennings said, what? He's laughing. What? Because he's in Realville. Jennings is. So Cross then says, yeah, absolutely. They're looking at Greenland and saying, I like it. I want to take it for mine. That's a very colonizer attitude. And he misinterpreted, Jennings did. He said, I've never, ever said we go to Greenland and colonize it or steal it. That's crazy. And she's saying, I'm not even talking about you. She's saying, she's talking about Trump. And so she said, so you're irrelevant on that point. I'm talking about the president of the United States. And so this is what Jennings says. You got fired from your job. How relevant are you? Boom! Man, that's the Twister punch right there. So then she said, Scott, if you want to engage in personal insults, I don't, but you do. He said, what you lack in the legitimate point, you make up for it in personal insults, she said. So back and forth. The point is I am making is in the new world order, we are looking at countries, whether or not they're an adversary or an ally, if it's being determined on what kind of deal we can get. And we cannot govern. We cannot legislate that way. We are increasingly isolated on the world stage. Now that, to me, right, it's the Jennings Twister punch that I wanted to share with you. We're the United States increasingly isolated on the world stage. See, this is how irrelevant MSNBC is she's out, Tiffany Cross is out there making this point at the time that all of these countries are flocking to the United States, wanting trade deals. They want to talk. So to say that we are irrelevant on the world stage, in the middle of what we have seen happen with the president and these tariffs, and this is why it's just hard to look at a lot of these people with any credibility. They have no credibility. How do you look at that seriously? It's like children making noise. They're a distraction. It's like, yeah, can you keep it down and let the big people speak? Your parents ever tell you that? Yeah, you keep it down and let the big people, have a conversation. And that's kind of how it is with, I don't want to say all Democrats, but certainly Tiffany Cross and some of these people. Wow. How did she ever get a show on MSNBC? I mean, that is just absolutely crazy. Okay, let's go over to Breitbart News in a return to sanity here, just to take a look at their, this is what interests me right here. Watch live the hearing on ending daylight saving time. Oh, there's the show tomorrow. Wind up. Once again, you got to end daylight saving time. I don't care which way we do it. I don't care which way we go. If you want to leave standard time or if you want to leave daylight saving time, don't care. Some people do. I don't care. I just don't. I want to stop messing around with my clock. I want the government to stop messing around with my clock. It's just as simple as that. Why is the federal government messing around with our clock? They shouldn't be. And which way we go, don't care. I just want them to say, okay, hands off now. Let's do this, and hands off. No more fooling around with your timepiece. So that'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. Breitbart, win after win after win. Consumer prices fell in March, defying predictions of tarifflation. That's the first time I've seen that. Tarifflation. Can we stop adding, blankflation? You got all, stagflation, all of these. Can we stop doing that? Now it's tarifflation. It just gets, can we agree that's ridiculous? I'd appreciate your comments. Leave your thoughts in the comments there. Tarifflation. We just keep expanding on that word. They also fact-checking Whoopi Goldberg in The View. I really don't want to get too shook up about what's going on The View, MSNBC. I will mention that stuff only in passing. Whoopi Goldberg saying egg prices have not gone down. Yeah, they have. That's been very, very widely reported that egg prices have gone down. So she's out there. Egg prices have not gone down. Again, who watches these shows? I mean, they're not folks that we're going to see in the comments section here. That's all I'll say. So was there anything else that I wanted to I thought there was something else that I wanted to share. Maybe that was it. Yeah. Ending the hearing on daylight saving time. I'd be interested to get your thoughts on that. Trump outmaneuvers markets, allies, and China in one day. Yeah, that's going a bit far. I think that's kind of typical for Breitbart. I saw this story earlier this morning. Mr. Beast, who is one of the stars of YouTube, so nod to him because I am not one of the stars of YouTube, not likely to be anytime soon. Mr. Beast was attacking the president's tariffs. And this is before the president made the changes yesterday. And so he said, ironically, because of all the new tariffs, it is now way cheaper to make our chocolate bars that we sell globally, not in America, because other countries don't have a 20% plus tariff on our COGS, he says, and laughing, apparently, because he's making this in other countries. And then he said, by the way, we pay our farmers a living income, use fair trade certified beans, etc. So I was already spending a lot on cocoa. A random price hike was pretty brutal. We'll figure it out. I feel for small businesses, though, could really be a nail in the coffin for them, he says. Okay, and then here's where the result or the reactions start coming. One, dude, no one said anything about small businesses being closed down during COVID, which is correct. The sympathy is extremely short-sighted and biased. What a joke. Another who said, bro, why are you manufacturing the entire thing in another country? The farming makes obvious sense. The entire point of the tariffs is you. Another one who said, did you support the little guy during the pandemic when thousands of small restaurants were forced to shut down? I can't remember. It was the nail in the coffin for many. I doubt you care about them, Mr. Beast. This is just a pivot. And the criticism goes on. Aren't you the same guy that brags and boasts that you took a heavy money loss in the beginning so you make the big money later? That is literally the exact same concept. This is the one that I was looking for. Don't be a hypocrite. Move on and stop talking politics. So Mr. Beast is getting a bit of a beating from some of the others on YouTube. And kind of interesting. I wanted to share that with you. We're going to leave it there for today. That is a wrap from the bunker for today. You made it to the end of the video. So you are part of my gallery of champions. Can't do it without you. I was saying this on the air this morning and off the air. I had a, I've been talking to contest winners. I'm talking to them off the air, getting their information and so on. And oh my heavens, folks, you say the nicest things. They just absolutely melt me. Just so incredibly kind in your words to me when I get a chance to visit with you privately. And folks don't generally do that on the air because I think for a couple of reasons they want to make their point. And I also believe they don't want to embarrass me, but gosh, you're just so incredibly kind. And I had to tell one of my winners this morning, when I'm saying thank you on the air to hey, thank you for listening. Thank you for making the Greg Belfrage Show a part of your day. That is absolutely from my heart. I I feel that. I'm grateful for all of you. Couldn't do what I do without all of you. You truly, and especially those of you who are here watching you're my big fans. I mean, you are my A-lister fans. So I really couldn't do it without all of you. And I hope you know how much I appreciate you. So thank you so much, my friends. We'll leave it there for today. A wrap from the bunker. Until tomorrow, I'm underground and I'm gone.